Caleb Williams is being profiled by Seth Wickersham as a part of his new upcoming book, American Kings, biography of the quarterback. So, through this, we found out that Caleb Williams and his father, his family generally, really did not want to go to the Chicago Bears. So, in the article from ESPN, it says Chicago is the place quarterbacks go to die. Carl Williams, Caleb Williams' father, told Seth Wickersham, author of American Kings, biography of the quarterback, in months before the 2024 draft. Caleb Williams wondered aloud to confidants, "Do I want to go there? Do I think I can do it?" with former Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. The forthcoming book, to be published in September, offers a detailed account of what it means to be a quarterback at various levels, from high school to college to NFL, and what it's like for legends in retirement. It features unprecedented access with dozens of quarterbacks and generational greats such as John Elway, Johnny Unitas, Warren Moon, members of the Manning family, and Steve Young, among others. It also includes current signal callers such as Kirk Cousins and Drake May. So, one of the more interesting parts about this that came out was that not only did Caleb Williams and his family just like voice concerns, they actually started actively trying to circumvent going to Chicago, and some of the ways that they did that was investigating if it would be at all possible to play for the UFL and play a year there and then be a free agent, and they'd be able to pick where they would want to go after that. Apparently, he hit it off with the Vikings and their head coach and really wanted to go to the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, once the Bears drafted him, that just became completely untenable. Even if the Bears wanted to do a similar thing with like Eli Manning, where he got drafted by the Chargers but traded to the Giants, there's just no way the Bears would trade him to a team within their own division. So eventually, Caleb Williams ended up playing for the Bears last season, had an up and down year. Part of the reason why it could have been quite down was this covered in this Bleacher Report about the situation. It says Caleb Williams, this is by Scott Polak as well. Caleb Williams is a Chicago Bears franchise quarterback, but reportedly didn't want to be ahead of the 2024 draft. ESPN relayed details of the upcoming book, American Kings, biography of the quarterback, by Seth Wickersham on Thursday, which includes the revelation that Williams' father, Carl, didn't want him to play for the Bears franchise as recently struggled to develop quarterbacks. Williams told his father that he wanted to go to the Minnesota Vikings after meeting with head coach Kevin O'Connell. According to Wickersham's book, the Bears refused to do anything but draft him with the number one pick. The details are rather damning for the state of the Bears before the 2024 draft and at times during the USC Products rookie campaign. Carl Williams said in the book, Chicago is a place quarterbacks go to die. So, what the big thing was the quarterback told his father that the coaching staff would instruct him on how to watch film, wouldn't instruct him on how to watch film, or even join him for much of the study, which he ended up doing alone. "Nobody tells me what to watch," he said. "I just turned it on." The coaching situation was abysmal for Chicago in 2024. The team fired head coach Matt Eberflus in November after a series of critical mistakes, which include not guarding sidelines on the penultimate play against the Washington Commanders to allow them to move into Hail Mary range. Commanders rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels then completed Hail Mary without facing any pressure. Eberflus also didn't run any plays in the final 30 seconds of a game against the rival Green Bay Packers, despite still having a timeout. He settled for a 46-yard field goal that got blocked. Eberflus likewise didn't call a timeout after Williams took a sack with 32 seconds remaining in the Thanksgiving game against the Detroit Lions, which caused chaos and a desperate heave. Chicago also fired Waldron in November, which meant that Williams at least didn't have to continue working with the offensive coordinator, whom he was worried about in the first place. It was frankly more of the same for a franchise that failed to develop the first-round picks, Mitch Trubisky or Justin Fields, in part because of poor coaching and lack of offensive weapons around them. The offensive line was also consistently an issue in recent years, which didn't change in 2024. So, yeah, all of that incredibly damning about the Matt Eberflus era in Chicago. My hope is that going forward, it'll be much better and Caleb Williams and Chicago can get along better. But what a crazy story to come out about Caleb Williams here before the 2025 season, to the point where it's like, dang, Seth Wickersham probably shouldn't. I mean, journalistic integrity, if people told him this, whatever, but it does put Caleb Williams in a tough spot going forward. It puts like all the Bears players and coaches in a tough spot. They're going to have to talk about this in the media. So at the end of the day, I'll probably be buying this book because that sounds interesting. This was the perfect piece to put out to promote that book going forward. But of course, what are your thoughts? If you're a Chicago Bears fan, especially, give me your thoughts on this Caleb Williams situation. And do you think that going forward things will get any better? Let me know in the comments.